spend an awful lot of time chasing this little guy around now that he's become more mobile. And you can have the absolute best cameras in the world, but if you don't have it on you, or if you can't get it turned on in time, you might miss those adorable moments. Maybe this can help. If you guys are not aware, I have a Snapchat account. I don't use it all that much, but maybe I'll be using it a little bit more often moving forward. The guys over at Snapchat released what they call spectacles a little while back. It's actually been several months ago at this point, but they were very limited. You had to be in very specific places to get your hands on them, and I'm not in one of those places, and I was not going to any one of those places. But in the last 2 weeks, probably, they finally released these for sale on their website. $129. And if you're not familiar with what these are, if you've never heard of them, Snapchat spectacles are effectively a pair of sunglasses with a camera in them. It's a, I think, 1080 by 1080 camera. It only does video. It does 10-second clips at a time with the intention that you're going to post them up to Snapchat. But you can also save those video files and you can put them into YouTube videos. You can put them on Instagram or Facebook or wherever else you want to put them. So, of course, I picked up a pair because there's no booting up time. There's no anything other than just wear them and tap a button. The downside of these obviously is they're sunglasses. They're not prescription glasses, but we'll get to that in possibly another video. For today, I'm just gonna go ahead and open these up, try them out, give you some initial thoughts and impressions and let you know whether I think, just on first blush, as to whether or not they're worth 130 bucks. Let's get started. There are 3 different colors of these spectacles available. I went for the teal, but there's also a coral and a black. I wanted to be kind of different, I guess. Inside of their little hermetically sealed chamber, as it were, you find this bright yellow case. This is actually the charging case for the spectacles. And inside of the case, as you would expect, there's the spectacles. You also get a little box full of documentation and stuff. Gives you some info there about how to turn on Bluetooth and how to pair it up and everything. And of course it also comes with a USB cable and a cleaning cloth for the lenses and some legal documentation stuff. Now the USB cable is not a traditional USB cable. It has USB on one end, but it has a magnetic pogo pins on the other end, just so you can see that a little bit better. And what you'll do is whenever the spectacles are actually inside of the case, you close it up, you hook up the pogo pins magnetically to the back of the case, and then you plug in the USB cable and it charges them. There's a battery contained in the case, so while you're on the go, you can actually be charging the spectacles when you're not wearing them, when you're not using them. In terms of the spectacles themselves, I accidentally already hit the button. The light is flashing. It has a little arrow on here. Presumably that's a sticker that's supposed to come off. It was covering up the charging pins that are in there. But over here you're going to have your status LED information, and over here is actually where the lens is. And whenever I hit that button again, you can see right there it's flashing and circling and whatnot. And then the first time when I actually go ahead and put them on, actually, they are surprisingly comfortable. They're better than I thought they would be. Unfortunately, I can't see anything. But this is the point where you'd actually go ahead and pair them up to a phone. And just taking a look back over this again, it says to open up Snapchat, which I've done. Swipe down from the top to view your snap code, which is right there. And then look at the snap code and press the button. And it just said, looking for spectacles. Keep looking directly at the snap code. Spectacles found, connecting to spectacles. There's actually a light up there that I can see in my left eye. It says name your spectacles. Hit OK. Connecting to spectacles might take a minute. I've heard this before and I've heard a lot of people say it. That was supremely easy. It says select an accessory, Jordan case specs. I can see, but just barely. Like everything is blurry. I have very bad astigmatism and yeah. Setting up spectacles, this may take a minute. And then we've got memories. It gives me some information about actually using these. It says press once to take a 10-second snap. Press again to extend it, and press and hold to stop. Double tap to check your battery level. Specs light up when they're charging. The charging case holds about 4 full charges. And it looks like it's flashing red, so I'm guessing the battery is dead, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and charge them. So again, in order to charge them, we'll just put them right inside their case. And I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and plug all of this in and let it charge for a little while, because little man has come back and he's demanding attention. And this is what it looks like when the case is charging. You can see right here this little LED is flashing, so the case presumably is charging, and hopefully, yes, the LED on the spectacles, it's also charging. So mine basically arrived with nothing inside of them. So we'll let that go for a little while. So unfortunately I ran out of time last night, what with the baby having to go to bed and everything, but that gave the spectacles and their case plenty of time to charge. And now I guess we can technically do some actual video samples with this, indoors, outdoors, wherever else. Obviously you're not going to be wearing sunglasses indoors, but technically you can pop the lenses out and just have frames, or you can buy prescription lenses, which again we'll come back to. But if I go ahead and tap on the button here, you can see it's rotating now, and that means it's actually capturing video. So this is the style of video that you should expect to see from them. It's round. As I looked it up, it's 1088 by 1088. This is actually the audio from it as well. And it gives you a little light that's blinking up in the corner of my eye. It's on solid right now, but after it hits about 8 seconds, it starts flashing for the last 2 seconds. Here's a quick sample of the video quality outdoors in pretty decent lighting conditions. You can also get a bit of a sample in terms of wind, just letting you know how it's going to do in the wind with its microphone. I have really no idea how this will do. You could also technically use them as just a handheld camera, just hold it out in front of you and hit the button, but not sure why you'd want to do that. You can even crop into it so you do away with that round aspect ratio, but then you lose a lot of quality, so maybe don't do that. Because really the whole point of the round aspect ratio is so that on Snapchat you can twist the phone around and it stays framed all the time. And coming back over to the phone, if we hit the little spectacles button down here inside of the Snapchat app, you can actually see all of the snaps that I've done. And then as I was sitting there looking through the ones from last night, it's actually started going ahead and importing the ones that I just did for these tests. And actually, if you want the higher quality versions of these, which I'll be using for this video, you can hit Get HD up here in the corner. And what it's going to do is, in this case, it's going to try to pull down all 5 of them at once. But you can also come back out here to the individual snaps and, for example, hold on one like that. You see down here we have a button to delete it, we have one to upload it, share it to other places, make edits to it, star it, or share it on Snapchat. So if I go ahead and hit this button here, the share button, I could save the video, I could send it over to my Mac, things like that, entirely using AirDrop. I can do the exact same thing with all of the other videos, one at a time. And you can see there, these are the files that I just imported. If I go ahead and double click on one, it's going to play back just like this. It's all round, obviously, as you will have seen by now. And just an initial thought right there, looking at some of the footage, it doesn't look like it absolutely killed it having wind hitting the microphone. So for something like a vacation where you're going to be outdoors a lot, possibly on a cruise ship like I might be in a few weeks, that could actually be a really good option. Although I would say at the same point, there's probably a way to put a little wind muff over the microphone. It looks like the mic is actually right on the inside of one of the temples. So maybe I'll look into that. I seem to remember Sam Sheffer made a video about the spectacles and talked about putting a microphone muff on there, just like I have on my Panasonic LX10 that I'm filming this with. So I guess in terms of just initial thoughts and impressions of these things, I actually really like the video quality. It's not the best thing in the world. In low light, it's not going to be all that great, but if it's the only camera that you have on you, it's actually going to get the job done. Outdoors, in good lighting, it's really nice, but it's sort of a special, unique type of video. It's not the type of video that you want to put into your everyday YouTube video, but if you're in a situation and you want to be able to capture what's going on for at least a few seconds at a time, having that on you and having that option is much better than not having an option. Better than taking the time to pull out a camera or a phone or whatever, turn it on, get into the camera app, hitting one button on the side of your glasses, whole lot easier. If I had one thing to say about it, it would be kind of nice if the button were on the other side. That's just sort of, I guess, the way that I normally use a camera. The shutter button is always on the right hand side, so that's what I'm looking for. When I reach for them, I always do this, whereas I have to retrain myself to use my left hand to do it instead. I haven't thoroughly tested the battery life on them or anything, but they're not supposed to last for a huge amount of time. From what I've heard though, for a lot of people, it's more than enough to get them through the day. And then when you pair it up with the fact that the case does have a built-in battery, definitely should not have any problems. And they're decently comfortable, although they do kind of squeeze my head a little bit on the side, so they might need to be kind of adjusted. I'll do some follow-up stuff on this down the road if you guys are interested in learning more about it. I'm going to be going on vacation, like I said, in a few weeks, so these will definitely be coming along with us as well. Again, if you're interested, make sure to add me over on Snapchat. It's something that I will be using more and more often now that I've got these little guys. But that's going to wrap this video up for today. So thank you guys as always for watching. I'll put a link to where you can find these down in the video description. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you liked it, and if you're new to the channel, if you have not yet already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ding the little bell so you get notifications every time that I put out a new video if you're interested. And I'll see you again next time.